The Vodafone Big Top 40.
Officially the UK's #1 chart.
Hello and welcome to the Vodafone Big Top 40 One Chat with Tinie Tempah.
How you doing, Kat?
All right, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, loads of people have been texting and tweeting, so we're going to get through as many as we can. Marina has tweeted to say, how is this album different to Discovery and which would you say is better?
Ooh, good question.
Cheeky question.
Yeah, quite cheeky as well, but cheeky is not bad. So how is it different?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I've matured a lot, you know. The first album, well, all your first albums, it kind of takes a lifetime to make, you know, but I was kind of 19, 20 while I was making the record. And, you know, I was basically talking about my life experiences up until that stage of releasing it. So I feel like now I've been through a lot more. I've grown up a bit. I've had a few more kind of adult experiences as well. Don't get any ideas. I saw your face there. But yeah, so there's so much more deeper things to talk about. Yeah. I also think sonically as well, where I've been able to travel so much and play so many different venues and gigs and watch so many different artists as well from all over the world. I think the sound sonically has changed. I'm a little bit more daring now, you know, so I've tried to do a few more kind of different eclectic things. As for which one is better, you know, I kind of let the fans decide that. So
Go on, you must have a
come
favourite.
November, to be quite honest with you, I think because it's my most recent work, I obviously prefer
It's
it.
new
You know,
and it's fresh.
it's new, it's fresh, it's exciting. But I leave that down to the fans.
Okay,
November, guys.
Dodged nicely. Ethan Lunn wants to know, are there any people who you collaborated with on both Discovery and Demonstration?
Oh, that is a good question. Okay, and because that question was so clever, I will now reveal that Emily Sande is also on the album. And for anybody who heard the first record I did with Emily, I was still quite new in the mainstream world, as was Emily. So the song we did was very mellow, with no kind of intention of it becoming a single or, you know, a really massive song. It was a very introspective song. However, now we've gone for something pretty epic and massive. And
Was
you
it
know,
different working with her this time? As
No.
Nothing
That's
changed?
one thing I really like about Emily. You know, she's somebody who's stayed very true to who she is, and she doesn't really seem like any of this has kind of affected her in that way. And that's always a really nice thing, you know,
Yeah,
because I feel I'm kind of like that as well, you know. So it was just really good to be back in with her after so much success, and, you know, so many things have changed in both of our lives, you know. It was good.
Oh, incredible. Sophie Davy wants to know, will there be a women's range in the new Disturbing London stuff?
Good question. So at the minute, we're trying to go for the term unisex. More so as opposed to
Covering all bases.
men and women. Yeah, exactly. Like the brand is basically based on, you know, kind of Americana hipster kind of, you know, really cool stuff, but with a kind of English heritage high-end twist. So anybody will know, you know, when you buy into certain brands that are of that nature, there's so many like long t-shirts and stuff that are for guys as well as girls.
A t-shirt's a t-shirt.
Yeah, a
isn't it?
t-shirt's a t-shirt, especially in this day and age. So we've made it so a few things are unisex. So don't worry, there'll be some stuff there for you.
Cool. Okay, Nina Elizabeth wants to know, who's your favourite celeb friend?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Oh, that's a very, very good question. At the moment,
Oh, okay. Wow,
it's as bad as that. At the moment, I'd have to say my favourite celeb friend would have to be probably Idris Elba.
Oh my God, he's the coolest man alive.
Exactly. So after watching Lufa, like,
It
I
was
think that's the
incredible,
coolest
wasn't it?
thing ever. Yeah, like it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Even considering the fact that I knew him, when I watched it, it was like it took me back to the 90s when things like The Bill was on, and you know, all these things that everybody used to rush home to watch. So, you know, I've just got an extra newfound respect for him, like I've always had, but just you know, tenfold, and it's
he's
really
always been a
great to
DJ,
kind of know
hasn't
him
he?
right now. Yeah, and the fact that he's even balancing so many different things, you know, as a DJ, as a musician, he's doing movies, he's doing TV, such a multifaceted, you know, character, and I think that's great. So he has to be my favourite celebrity
I'm really jealous
friend.
of that one. I
No
can agree with you
problem.
that one. Almighty R wants to know, how long have you been working on the album?
Oh wow, I would say when the album's released, it will be 3 years since my first album was out, but it didn't actually take me 3 years to work on it. It took me about a good year. I would say after the first album came out, I took a year to really just tour it, you know, work it, promote it, release it in other parts of the world, soak it all in. And then the following year, I started working on the record. And then, you know, without getting it in too much, there was a few little political things that happened in between with the record label. Our record label kind of went under new kind of management, and that kind of affected a lot of things. So those are all the reasons.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
brilliant. We'll get a live Twitter question in a second when they've got one. Oh, they've got it here. Ariana Edits says, what's the biggest achievement in life? What's your biggest achievement in life?
Good question, Ariana. Do you know what? I without going into too much detail, I would just say kind of focusing my mind and my brain on achieving something and working towards a goal and kind of just doing it. I know it sounds a little bit vague, but I think just even the dream of becoming a musician and a musician that was able to, you know, become successful and have a great career, you know, so far, fingers crossed. That's something I've always dreamt about. You know, I started dreaming about that when I was 12 years old. So for it to all start unraveling and manifesting and happening, I would say that is my biggest achievement.
Yeah.
You know, everything that's happened within that is great. You know, the singles doing well, the album doing well, the touring. But just the fact that as a little kid, I wanted to do this so bad, the fact that I'm able to do it now with all you guys' support has to be the biggest achievement.
Brilliant. Where's Ollie wants to know, do you reckon you'll be working alongside any future X Factor contestants?
Wow, that's a good question.
Do you watch it? Do you watch the show? Do you watch X Factor when it's on and things like that? You probably don't
I mean, I
imagine.
used to watch it before. I think not so much now. You know, I'm kind of over it at the minute. But you know, one thing that's kind of happened now recently is I just think whatever people's opinions are of the show, it's a good platform for people to be discovered. You know,
Yeah.
some people don't, you know, have amazing talent, but they don't have the slightest clue in how to get discovered. And I think that started to make sense with me when I went off to do the judges' houses with Talisa
Oh, yeah, of
in
course.
St. Lucia. Yeah, I think I developed a newfound respect, I would say, for the contestants more so than the show, because at the end of the day, they are real people and people can say what they want about them, you know, but they are actually real people with a real dream. You know, that bit is not fake. So only God knows, you know, maybe, you know, who knows, the next huge star might come out of X Factor to change the world. But I don't know.
You haven't yet. You haven't worked with anyone so
No,
far.
I haven't yet, no.
Keep it that way for a bit, maybe. John. Yeah, Monga John wants to know, Tinie, if you could be a biscuit,
Yeah.
what biscuit would you be? And why?
Oh, Hobnob. Yeah,
choice.
you.
Tiffany wants to know, if you could perform with anyone, who would you pick and why?
Wow, that's a good question. Wow. Do you know what? There's a few people. I haven't really been able to perform Drinking from the Bottle with Calvin Harris yet.
No, because you've both been so busy. right?
Yeah, because we've both been really busy, and like he's killing it at the minute. He's having a great time. So probably him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you maybe make that happen the rest of this year?
Yeah. Well, I
That's
think I've
somewhere.
put it out there now. So who knows?
Calvin,
he might be listening.
Get in touch.
Exactly.
Okay? Give us a call. Give us a text. Should we get another one from online? Another live one, if they can. Rebecca wants to know, I love your new song, but what inspired you to call it Trampoline?
Thank you very much, Rebecca. So the inspiration behind Trampoline was, this song was like a reintroduction of myself because I'd been away for a very long time. So I wanted to reintroduce my personality, you know, just the way I think, the way my mind works at the minute. And it's a very, very energetic song as well.
Yeah.
You know, when you listen to it, it's very much intended for the club, for the festivals, you know, just for party environments.
Get people bouncing.
Yeah, and anybody who's seen me perform will know that one of my, you know, my main talents is jumping really, really high. You know, I go for it. You know, when I'm doing all the
It's your
big
thing.
songs, when I'm doing all the big songs, I really go for it. So I just thought it'd be cheeky and kind of clever to call it Trampoline, because that is what I kind of need everybody to do. That's the intention of the track. When it comes on, jump like a crazy person.
Okay. Remy wants to know, are you going to be working with Rihanna or Miley Cyrus anytime soon?
Wow. I would, well, for Rihanna especially, I would love to work with Rihanna. I think she's incredible. I've had the opportunity to support her on a few tours around the world as well, and that's been really great. I've learned a lot of things as well.
And you've never written anything together when that's been happening?
No, haven't yet. But who knows, man? I think in this day and age, there's always collaborations going on, you know, and unexpected ones at that. So who knows? I'd leave that open, but I would definitely love to.
What about Miley Cyrus? You could be twerking with her. Seen her do that. It's
I really
incredible.
love her new song. I think she's matured really well. She's made, I think a lot of artists who've had an incredible kind of teenage career kind of struggle to make that transition into a grown
It's 'cause
man or
everyone's
woman
watching
or
you,
an
isn't it?
adult. Yeah, because everybody's been watching you your whole life, but she's done that really well, and she seems to have a little bit of actual texture to her as well. Collaboration, I don't know. Right song, I don't know.
Maybe, we'll see.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll get another live one. Sasha wants to know, how would you celebrate if Trampoline goes to number one?
Thank you, Sasha. That's a good question. If Trampoline went to number one, I would probably buy a trampoline and put it in my garden.
No one sent you a trampoline?
Yeah, no one sent me a trampoline yet.
Send the man a trampoline. He wants
No,
a trampoline.
I will go and buy a trampoline with my own money.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah, I'll probably put it in my garden and just, I don't know, upload a crazy video of just me having fun on it. I don't know, something like that.
Okay. Elle Ashford wants to know, did you ever have a childhood crush? And I bet she's gutted now if she knew.
My childhood crush wasn't actually real, so I don't know if she can be gutted. My childhood crush was Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell.
Oh my God, she was the
she was hot, innit? Yeah, she was hot. So I don't know if she's gutted. I'm sure she's married and very happy now. I'm not sure she's gutted.
I forgot about that. Another live one. Let's see what we can get. Nina, how big are your shoes?
Good question. Very random question, but good. I'm a size 8. Just in case you happen to be passing by any trainer stores. I really like Jordans as well.
So get them sent in. Another question. Let's see if we can get some more in before we finish. No more. Okay, we'll read some off the sheet for a bit instead. Let's see which ones I haven't done. If you could go to space and leave one thing on the moon, what would it be? That's from Sarah Fern.
Wow. If I could go to space and leave one thing on the moon, I would probably leave an iPod full of all of my music and everything that I'm into, and obviously now videos as well. I just think music is one of the most incredible things, and it's something that brings people together from all over the world. You know, it's a very great form of expression as well. So if any alien was going to come and stumble across something, I would want them to kind of understand what was going on in our world. Yeah. And I think music is a good way to do that.
That was a brilliant answer. When you were younger, let's see who this one's from. Jonah Skians. When you were younger, what was your biggest fear and why?
Wow. When I was younger, I think my biggest fear was probably not knowing what I was going to do if I didn't make it as a musician. Like I said, I started thinking about this at 12 years old and there was no plan B. Trust me, man. Like, I scrapped football, basketball, everything to kind of do this. So there was no plan B. And I just was kind of worried that if this didn't happen, I set myself like the target. I said, if I was 20 and I didn't get a record deal, then I've had it. I'm not doing it. I'm done with this. And luckily I got a record deal when I was 20. So
what if you got to 21 and you still hadn't? Would you still have carried on for a couple more years?
Nah. I think sometimes when you set yourself a precedence, like this is it, I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
You know, granted, I gave myself a few years to build up to 20, but I think sometimes when you do that, it's good because it gives you a bit more added pressure, you know, and it worked for me.
Set yourself goals.
Yeah.
Josh wants to know when we'll be getting the track list and or the official release date for the album.
That's a good question. I don't actually know, but I know it's within the next few weeks, definitely less than a month. So just keep on the Twitter, keep on the Instagram, and yeah, just keep your eyes open. I'm sure you'll see it soon. Okay.
Erin wants to know, who's your idol?
Good question. Who is my idol? I have loads of idols for different reasons. I kind of just idolize anybody who is being able to do very well off the back of talent at the minute. You know, I think at this moment in time, anybody can kind of become famous for anything. You know, we live in a day where, you know, it's all about reality TV shows and reality TV contests and stars and, you know, so anybody who's really putting in hard work and is actually like a real creative or is really like a hardworking, talented person, those are people who are inspired by and idolize. As for specific idols, I would say Dizzy Rascal from over here, and I'd probably say Jay-Z as well, and Kanye West.
Do you think you'll get to work with Jay-Z in the future, maybe?
Who knows? Again, I would never compare that to the Rihanna and Miley Cyrus situation, but again, you know, who knows? Anything could happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you ever go on like those, you know, we were talking about the celebrity sort of reality shows and stuff like that. Would you ever go on anything like that, or would you ever go on anything like The Voice, you know, things like that at the moment?
At the moment, I don't really think so, to be quite honest with you. I think it's good, like I said, it's a good platform, but I'm really all about the art form and the music as well. And I think, you know, in this day and age, if you can stay away from all of that and your music can still be heard, it's like a blessing and it's a great thing. So for as long as I can, I'm gonna just keep it about the music.
Unless Jay-Z comes calling and says he's got a new show. And
but he hasn't even done a reality show and he's my idol, so I can't be doing that.
AJ wants to know, is there one song on the new album which you can't wait for us all to hear?
Yeah, there's 13, 14, 15 songs on the album. I can't wait for you to hear.
Do you have favourites though? Does it change all the time, or do you?
It changes all the time. It changes all the time. I think sometimes as well when you get people's reactions as well, it can sometimes change because every song you make, you have an intention for people. Like Trampoline was getting people out of their chairs and just jumping like crazy and having a good time. And sometimes when you perform it and it happens, then it almost like reinforces why you like that tune so much. So yeah, there's a few things. I can't wait for you guys to hear Mosh Pit with Dizzy Rascal. It's a very like kind of angry, aggressive tune, and it kind of reminds me a bit of like, you know, Dizzy's earlier stuff and Pass Out and all that kind of stuff. There's a few amazing tracks that I've done with Labyrinth on there. Oh, I've given away another collaboration.
Yes.
Labyrinth, yeah, I really can't wait for you guys. Yeah, exactly. I can't wait for you guys to hear those as well. There's two there. They're really great.
Did you play the whole album to Dizzy when you were working with him?
No, I didn't. The album is still in the process of just getting mixed and mastered. Okay. And I'm a perfectionist. I like to play it at the end. Yeah. Nah.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any more? Olivia wants to know, you're 5'1" and I'm 5'6", but would you still go with me? Wow, I think she's talking about Tinie Tempah or someone. I think she got that wrong. Yeah, sorry, Olivia. How tall are you then for Olivia?
I'm 5'9".
There you go. There you go, Olivia. He's 5'9".
It could work.
Any more? Emily wants to know, what's the craziest, most silliest thing you've ever done?
What is the craziest, most silliest thing I've ever done? Wow. I'm sure there's probably loads of things. The tour bus is always pretty crazy and silly.
What happens on tour?
What happens on tour stays on tour though, yeah. So I don't know, one day we'll probably, if we're never going to do probably a reality show thing, but we'll probably release a documentary one day. Okay. So yeah, you'll see all of that on there.
All the stuff that goes on tour.
Exactly.
My word, there's a promise. There you go. Thank you for that today, Tinie Tempah.
No
if you want to watch it back, you can. BigTop40.com later. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.